Hi, I'm Gregory and I'm with JCACounseling. Today's video we're going to be talking about anxiety in children and how it's a little different than how we as adults experience anxiety. I'm going to be going through those differences as well as giving you 6 tools you can use tonight to help your children manage their own anxiety. Before we get started, please take a moment to join our community by hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. Then you'll be able to see all the great videos we've posted on mental health and anxiety, and you'll be able to see the future videos come up as we post them. Subscribing goes a long way to help support us in making these videos, so thank you. So to get started with, let's talk about how children experience worry and anxiety and how that looks a little different than adults. So children have worries and anxieties based on their age. There's developmentally appropriate fears and worries, and then there's things that you need to be concerned about that may be an indicator of anxiety. For example, an 8-month-old may have separation anxiety. This is where they have a fuss, they get upset when they're separated from their parents or their primary caregiver. This is developmentally appropriate. But it's not developmentally appropriate for an 8-year-old to have that same kind of reaction. That might be something to be concerned with, of what's going on that makes it hard to separate from your parents. Is there something stress-wise or anxiety-wise going on for this child? And then there's common worries and fears that children can have. So the younger common worries and fears are fear of the dark, fear of strangers, or a fear of an animal like a dog or a cat. These kind of fears and worries are kind of because things are new and they're experiencing these things for the first time. But as a child gets older, those fears and worries turn more into social type anxiety. So they may be fearful that they are going to fit in, or they're going to have friends, or they're going to be likable. Also, there's a little bit more performance anxiety. Will they do good on the test? Are they doing well in school? And here's a big one, are they gaining your approval? You see, anxiety for children, or stress in children, wraps a lot around, are they understood? Are they cared about? And are they cherished? And so if a child is not feeling very understood by their teacher, there's going to be a lot more anxiety in the classroom. If the child's not feeling understood at home, you're probably going to have a lot more anger outbursts or arguments at home. So this is something to consider as well of, do I really understand why my child is struggling? Because if you don't understand, your child probably knows it too, and this makes it harder on them. So that's a first key step in helping your child, is figuring that out and processing that for yourself. What are they struggling with, rather than why are they being bad? So how is anxiety different in children than adults? So first off, children are not mini adults. They have different brains than we do, and they have different developmentally appropriate styles of managing life, managing their emotion, and managing their anxiety. So this is going to look a little different than it does for us adults. Children have a hard time expressing how they feel with words. This means pre-adolescent and under children, I would say 10, 11 and under, have a difficult time expressing their anxiety, their fears, and their emotions using words. Now, they definitely can express themselves. If you've ever talked to a 9-year-old, you know a lot about their life after talking to them for a few minutes, typically. But the deep core reason of why they feel a certain way, or what they're going through, or what they're anxious about, you're not going to be able to get that full picture like you would in other expressive means like play therapy or art therapy. It's just simply not developmentally appropriate. And so they're not going to be able to talk about and express what they're going through like maybe we could as an adult. So how you're going to know if your child's struggling with anxiety is their behaviors. Those are going to be the indications that something's going on with your child that they need a little extra help with. Another thing they may say, they may express that shows you that they're struggling a little more, is if they say, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I feel this way. Because it may genuinely mean they don't know, or I don't have the ability to express this. So I don't know doesn't mean I don't want to tell you. It means I don't know how to say it. That's another way of redirecting that. So what behaviors indicate this? We have in another video with the link right here that goes into a lot of those behaviors in detail. So anxiety has a fight or flight response. And what that looks like in real life is the fight in children is the irritability, being angry, pushing back, being controlling. That means they're feeling the anxiety and they're using that fight to fight their environment to try to gain back some control. Or they're going to be really irritable because it doesn't feel very good to be anxious. And then the flight is avoid. This is appeasing, this is shutting down, this is going quiet, this is not talking at all. This is avoiding friends, avoiding studying, completely going internal and shutting down and going numb. This is where the I don't know comes in. One key indicator of concerning anxiety is if a child cannot stop themselves or they don't like that they're doing it. So you may see this in them overly stressed out about a test and even crying, saying, I don't want to feel this way. This may also look like them backing out and saying, I don't know why I just did that, and having a lot of tears, crying, and shame afterwards. Now, side note, shame doesn't always have to look like tears. Shame can look like them going completely numb and shutting down and not responding. That's actually an indicator that their shame is that much deeper because they have no ability to regulate it enough to speak about it or to express it. So sometimes when children go really cold and numb and they give you a flat face, they don't look at you at all, or they don't talk to you, that means that they're really upset about what they did and they don't know how to regulate it. Another key indicator is if it's impacting their daily life. If it's affecting their sleep, so they're not getting quality sleep at home. If it's affecting their ability to study for that math test. If they're avoiding studying for it and therefore not doing a good job. If they're afraid of something like dogs, then they start avoiding going outside because there may be a dog outside. Or if they have a lot of fear around socialization and now they don't try and they don't go out, and so therefore they're not getting any new friends. These are some key indicators that there's a lot more anxiety going on that's affecting their whole world. It's holding them back from their true and full potential. That's when they may need some extra help, and that may be when you're dealing with true anxiety. All right, so let's talk about how you as a parent can help your child. This is a big deal because it's really hard to watch someone we care so much struggle. First off, validate how they feel. This may be hard because the worry may be kind of extreme or weird, but saying, yes, that makes sense to feel scared about that, or I get that you feel that way, can just help that automatically disarm somebody because now they're feeling understood, which I think is really, really important here. Next is help them with identifying where they feel it. Do you feel a weight on your chest? Is there a tension in your shoulders? Is there a twist in your stomach? This helps them kind of get into their body and help them understand and feel their anxiety. And then go into explaining what anxiety is and why they are experiencing anxiety, that it's just an alarm system of our body telling us that we need to either fight or flight, and it's sometimes triggered incorrectly. So our test may not be a bear in the woods, but it certainly can feel like one. This part of our body can be trained and told what to do. So if we understand that we're feeling anxiety, we can tell the anxiety to stop, or we can use certain tools to manage our anxiety, kind of helping, empowering them. You're in control. Explaining to your child what anxiety is like taking it from being an invisible monster to something trainable and manageable. Suddenly now they're in control. You're empowering them to manage their own bodies and their own anxiety. Next, to help your child, help them think through it. A lot of times when we're anxious, we have very high anxiety-provoking thoughts, and those thoughts can kind of perpetuate our anxiety. So if we're thinking, oh no, oh no, oh no, or we're fearing the future, or we have a narrative in our mind of what the future will hold, then we have anxiety based on that narrative. So helping your child think through, how are you thinking about anxiety? What are your thoughts when you're feeling this way? This helps your child unpack it a little more, and then you can help them with thinking it through. Well, yes, you could fail your test, but if you study, you have a high chance of succeeding and passing your test. So can you play that tape through of seeing yourself looking at the test, holding your pencil, and knowing the answer because you studied so much tonight? So here's the solution. Let's study a little more. That'll help you feel a little confident, and then you can sleep better tonight, and then you'll feel even more confident in the morning because you slept well. So it's painting a story with a beginning, middle, and an end of them doing well to help them challenge the negative story they have in their mind or the negative thoughts that they've told themselves are true. Another way of helping your child with anxiety is normalizing it. If you talk about feeling worried or anxious and what you're going to do and how you're coping through it, or even better, if you and your spouse talk about something you're both worried about and come up with a game plan together, you're modeling your child that, hey, it's normal to feel anxious. We all do. And this is what you do when you're anxious, and this is how you come together and communicate about your anxiety. It creates something normal in your family. This is something we talk about. And so then there isn't anxiety about having anxiety, because sometimes that can be true too. If there's a sense of taboo around the topic, then even bringing it up feels more anxious, and now we have a double whammy. And so in doing this, even creating a scenario on purpose, having a conversation between you and your wife or husband about something going on and planning it to be in front of the children so that they can witness what it's like to have a healthy conversation. And then the last way of helping your child with anxiety is practicing anxiety reduction techniques as a normal day, everyday fun in your family. So this can be exercising together, doing yoga together. This can be practicing bubble breaths while you're driving in the car to help them deep breathe, that triangle breathing in that first anxiety video that we produced. The breathing in for 4, holding for 4, and breathing out for 4. Practicing that because it's so much easier to practice and make it a habit before the anxiety comes. After watching this video, if you're concerned about your child or wondering what to do next, you're not alone. A lot of children are experiencing high levels of anxiety after this year. It's been really tough on all of us. There's a link below to our website where you'll learn more about our counseling practice as well as counseling for children and what to expect. You may also click a link to schedule a time for us to call you, a counselor to call you, so you can get any of your questions answered and we can help support you in figuring out what to do next. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. Thank you for watching this video and being a part of our Johns Creek and Alpharetta Counseling community. Please comment below, start up a conversation about what you may be concerned about, and we can help start supporting each other through this. If you're not a part of our community yet, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to see more great videos like this one. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.